you add all of those affiliates' revenues together last year, I mean, that was roughly 20% of South Korea's GDP. It's the nation's largest conglomerate. When we're talking about globally, it's obviously become a significant global brand, on par with a number of other tech giants like Apple and Microsoft and Amazon. And obviously, that doesn't just extend to the knowledge of its brand in these countries across the world. It extends to the people who are buying those products. It extends to its manufacturing operations, making chips in China, making phones here in South Korea and in Vietnam. Obviously, it's got manufacturing operations in South America and in the US as well.
호전적인 경영을 통해 삼성을 세계적인 초인류 기업으로
Actually, in 1993, there was actually a declaration that he made in Frankfurt, and the famous quote is basically translated into "change everything but your wife and kids." If you think about the Samsung brand, well, it's very well known now. They have quality products. They make everything, as you mentioned, from phones to computers, appliances. But back in those days, he had a huge concern with the quality of Samsung's products. Obviously, they made a lot of different kind of products back then as well, but the problem was the actual quality, and he wanted to really change the perception of Samsung being this imitator, this production of low quality goods into something, very high quality. And luckily, around the same time, Samsung became one of the top producers of memory chips, or DRAM, and this actually helped them have this foundation to expand and diversify. That was kind of his vision, to kind of really diversify and do many other, I guess, kind of, spread the risk, so to say. And then eventually in the modern times, in 2010s, he started to lay out his vision into key fields. So he saw this vision of seeing, world changing, this technological digital kind of era, such as smartphones, but also, as mentioned again, some of its components. So Samsung started investing a lot into things like OLEDs and memory chips, such as its brand of Exynos chips, and that's kind of how they kind of took off with the Galaxy brand. He kind of was this visionary and kind of focused on some of the key sectors that he knew that would grow, such as smartphones. And so to say, kind of realized, the waves of globalization is happening. So he started, I guess, securing a lot of the supply chains and compartmentalizing some of the Samsung's components. And one of the key things that he did to kind of show his innovative side is he reached out to every corner of the earth, and he kind of established numerous kind of sort of quote unquote research centers around the world to attract the best and the brightest, because he realized, yes, we have great talent in Korea, but also we need to adapt to other business environments and culture.
A lot of the biggest tech giants now are really charting their path to power through software that they're developing themselves, and that's still something that's not a strength for Samsung. And so the question is going to be, given that change and that shift, how is Samsung going to adapt?
There's the Samsung Display subsidiary. We just saw the launch of the Fold phones, from Fold Zs to the Flip phones. And a lot of this display technology, they've been putting a lot of R&D and emphasis for years, and they've finally been able to bring out a product, not only in its prototype stage, but the interesting development is they could actually produce it on a massive scale. What I'm actually looking forward to is electrical paper, actually. They've been working on this for a long time. The biggest problem is not the folding part, but the power to power the electric, papers. And some of the other interesting, technology they're kind of inventing these days is holograms. They're trying to utilize cameras and equipment to communicate in real time with the full figure of the person communicating, so that the person receiving the communication can actually see the person's expression and their entire kind of image.
Jae-yong, having been the de facto leader of the Samsung conglomerate and at Samsung Electronics for the past 6 years, has to sign off on all of the biggest decisions, from mergers or acquisitions to just big business strategy decisions. And it has been a big question in the last couple of years, especially because much of his time at the helm has been marked by these legal challenges that he's been facing. As those legal challenges continue, we're going to be watching to see how much of that is going to take up his time and what that's going to mean for the company.
극단적으로 얘기해. 농담이 아니야. 마누라 자식 빼는 거 다 바꿔봐.